Well, good morning, everyone. So today we're gonna go ahead and jump right into our stretching class for today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start right from the top of our heads and we're gonna move all the way down to our feet, okay? Now, before we get started, just a couple of things I wanna remind you of. At any point, if we're doing any of the stretching or different exercises and it hurts, or you feel some type of sharp pain, or it's very discomforting, don't do it, okay? These exercises are designed to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you shouldn't feel any pain, all right? So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that our bottoms are scoot right to the edge of the seat, and you can do that by taking your back, sitting back on the chair, and sliding your bottom forward, okay? So that puts you right on the edge of the seat and gets you sitting up nice and tall. Now, whenever we're sitting nice and tall, we want to be mindful that we have our legs hip width apart, so they're nice and comfortable on the floor, and that our shoulders are nice and tall. Throughout this class, we want to make sure that we have nice upright posture so that we're sitting tall, our shoulders are back, our heads are up, and we're engaged in our exercising, okay? So let's start off with taking a nice deep breath. Let's breathe in through our nose and let it out through our mouths. Again, so we're gonna take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouths. And one more time, we're gonna breathe in through our nose and out through our mouths. Alrighty, so let's get started. So first we're gonna start with our necks. We're gonna take our necks and we're gonna move them around in a circle, nice and slow. Now, while doing these exercises, you wanna be mindful that you're taking your time and you're doing all the exercises nice and slow as possible. Anytime we try to speed things up, we tend to do them incorrectly, and that's how we get injured. So we wanna be mindful to take our times, and we're moving our necks all the way around. Very good. Try to get your chin to touch your chest, and getting your heads to come all the way back, touching both of your shoulders. Good job. Now, I want you to bring your head back to the center, and I want us to go in the opposite direction, okay? All the way around. Nice and slow. Making sure you get each angle of your neck. Very good. Now, also be mindful, go at your own pace. If I'm going too fast for you, slow it down. It's absolutely okay. And back to the top. Very good. Now that we've worked on our neck, let's go ahead and work on these shoulders. So what we're gonna do, sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna take our shoulders and we're gonna move them backwards, okay? So big shoulders all the way around, opening up that chest as much as we can, okay? Now, when we're moving our shoulders back, we want to make sure we're getting a full range of motion here, okay? Remember, the bigger the movement, the better, all right? Big motions with your shoulders. And then we're gonna go right into moving our shoulders one at a time, okay? So what I like to tell everyone is that when we're rolling our shoulders back, try to get your shoulders to touch the bottom of your earlobe. That makes you reach that shoulder up as much as you can, getting a good stretch in. Oh, that feels good. It's better already. All right, big shoulders. Good job. And relax. Good job. Now, just remember, anytime that we're exercising or loosening those joints in our shoulders, we always want to roll our shoulders back, okay? A lot of times as we get older, sometimes we tend to get this kind of forward positioning of our shoulders, and that's just repetition of our muscles, and we don't want to get our muscles in the habit of that. So instead of rolling our shoulders forward, we always roll our shoulders back. That opens up the chest, and that's good muscle memory so that we can sit up tall, nice and tall, with really good posture as well, okay? All right, now let's relax. Take a nice deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, at this point, you're probably noticing that your heart rate is starting to increase a little, which is fine. If you ever need to stop and take an additional break and work on your deep breathing, that's absolutely fine, okay? So let's take another deep breath. In through your nose, and out through your mouths. Very good. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our arms, and we're gonna place our arms across our chest, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our torso and we're gonna move our bodies all the way around in a circle, all right? Nice and slow, all the way around, as big as you can. Now, when we're doing our circles, I like to tell everyone to be sure, try and get your arms to touch your legs. And if you can, try to get your back to get as close to the back of the seat as possible. That forces you to make a big circle. So all the way around. Very good. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to the center, and then we're gonna go in the opposite direction. Very good. All the way around. Now I know sometimes a lot of people ask, well, which way should I go first? Should I go right or should I go left? And what I like to tell them is it doesn't matter as long as we get both sides. Very good. Big circles. And back to the center. Good job. And relax your arms. Shake it out. All right, now sitting up nice and tall, feet are still flat on the floor. And remember, my shoulders are always back, making sure I'm mindful of my posture. Let's take a nice deep breath. In through your nose. And out through your mouths. One more time. In through your nose. And out through your mouths. Now, next what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our arms, we're gonna put our arms by our sides, okay? Sitting up nice and tall, you wanna make sure you keep your head up. You're gonna make sure that your shoulders are back. We're gonna have our arms by our side, and I want you to imagine that you were stiff as a board, okay? What we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to reach from side to side, and we're gonna try to get as close to as close to the floor as possible without bending our back and without putting our heads down, okay? So your backs are nice and tall, and I just want to try to get as close to the floor as possible, okay? Very good. Good job, and again, take your time. Now, these chairs can be very slippery, so you want to be mindful that you're going your range of motion, okay? So if I'm going a little closer to the floor than you, it's okay. Only do what you can. Good job, and a few more. Very good. Last one, and relax. Very good, felt that one. And take a deep breath. Good job, we're doing great. In through your nose and out through your mouths. Excellent job, all right. So moving right along, so the next exercise we're gonna do is what we're gonna concentrate on is taking our fingers and lacing our fingers together, okay? So what I want you to do is try to make a nice round circle if you can with your arms, okay? So trying to keep that shape as much as a circle as you can. And I want you to take your eyes and put your eyes on the palm of your hand, okay? So what we're gonna do, sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna take our bodies and we're gonna twist our bodies from side to side, nice and slow, okay? And while you're doing this, I want you to be mindful to keep your eyes on the palm of your hand the entire time. Very good. You should feel the stretch in your back, okay? So eyes are on the palm of your hand. You're twisting your arms from side to side, keeping your body forward, but letting your eyes follow the palm of your hand. Good job. We'll do one more. Good job, and then we're gonna bring it back to the center. All right, now, with your fingers laced together, what we're gonna do, if you can, we're gonna take the palms of our hand and we're gonna push them out as much as we can, and we're gonna lift them up towards the sky as high as you can, okay? Now, in this position, I want you to be very, very careful, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna move from side to side, very slight movement. There you go, to get all those kinks out. Good job. Good job, nice and slow. Making sure you're taking your time because again, we don't want to injure ourselves. A few more. And we're gonna bring it back to the center. We're gonna bring our arms down, nice and slow. Good job. We're gonna flip our hands over. We're gonna release our fingers and we're gonna shake it out. Whew, that feels good. All right, and let's calm our heart rate down just a little bit by taking a nice deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouths, and again. In through your nose, and out through our mouths. All right, so now we're gonna work on our arms individually, okay? So now we're gonna take our arm and we're gonna lift that arm up towards the sky, okay? Nice and slow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that arm and we're gonna lean in towards the body, okay? In towards the body, and I want you to just hold it. And what you should feel is you should feel a nice stretch on the back side of your arm here, all down your torso. So we're just gonna lean just a little bit and we're gonna hold it, making sure you're breathing, working on your breathing while doing so. Very good. And bring that arm down nice and slowly, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that same arm and we're gonna bring that arm across our chest, okay? So try to keep that arm as flat as possible. And what we're gonna do is take our opposite hand and place it on our elbow and we're gonna pull it in close to the body, okay? And what we're gonna do is just hold it for a few minutes, or excuse me, a few seconds, not minutes. And take a nice deep breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You should definitely feel that stretch in the back side of your arms here, okay? Now, we're gonna release that, and we're gonna take this same arm, and we're gonna lift it back up towards the sky. And this time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give ourselves a pat on the back, okay? So we're gonna take our hands, and we're gonna make sure that our elbow is pointing up towards the sky so that you can feel your stretch right here, okay? So you're gonna hold it and pat yourself on the back. We all deserve a pat on the back sometimes, especially if we're making it to exercise class. Deep breath. Good job. And relax. And bring that arm down nice and slow. Good job. Shake it out. That was good. So now we're gonna do the same thing with the opposite arm, okay? So take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouths, and let's stretch out that opposite arm, okay? So we're gonna take that arm and we're gonna lift it up towards the sky, nice and slow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean in towards the body, and we're just gonna hold it for a few seconds. Should really feel that. And whenever you're leaning in towards the body, try not to let your arms come in front of your face. Be sure that it's over your head. That's where you're gonna get the maximum stretch at, it's over your head, okay? And then we're gonna take that arm and we're gonna bring it down nice and slow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that same arm and we're gonna bring it across the body, okay? Here you go, and try to keep that arm nice and flat. So we don't wanna bend that arm at the elbow. We wanna always keep it nice and flat. You're gonna take your opposite hand and place it here on your elbow and pull it into the body. There you go. Make sure you're concentrating on your breathing. Good job. And now we're gonna release that arm, and we're gonna take that same arm and we're gonna lift that arm up towards the sky, okay? So back towards the sky, and we're gonna give ourselves another pat on the back. There you go. And now with that pat on the back, I want you to make sure that your elbow is pointed up towards the sky. And if you need your opposite hand to help give it a little push, go ahead and do so. There you go. The key is you want that elbow pointing towards the sky as much as you can. And just hold it. Good job. And release that arm. And bring it all the way down nice and slowly. And shake it out. Good job. Feel that. So that was good. Now, make sure now, remember, never forget about your posture. I know sometimes it's very difficult to sit up in a chair for so long, but just be mindful for the duration of this class. We want to make sure that we're sitting up tall, our shoulders are back, chest are out, and our heads are up, okay? So take a nice deep breath. In through your nose. And out through your mouths. Very good. Now, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna work on some of our rows, okay? So what I want us to do, I want us to take our hands and I want us to lift them up so that they're parallel with our shoulders out in front of us, okay? So with your palms facing the floor, I want you to take your hand and squeeze your fist. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna roll our boat and we're gonna pull it wide, okay? And we're gonna release and we're gonna pull it wide, okay? Now, every time that you're pulling your arms back, you wanna be sure that you're squeezing those muscles in your back, okay? So squeezing those muscles, sitting up nice and tall, and every time you squeeze those muscles, making sure that your chest is nice and tall, okay? Very good. Good job. And we're gonna squeeze those muscles together. Good job. And release. And one more. Squeeze those muscles together. Good job. And release. Very good. And relax those arms. And shake it out just a little. Take a nice deep breath. You're doing great. I promise you, you're doing excellent. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the flexibility in our fingers. A lot of times we have problems with our joints in our fingers or them not working properly, or some of us may even have a little arthritis in our fingers. So what we want to do now, we want to focus a little bit more on the flexibility in our fingers, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to take the palms of your hand and I want you to set them on your laps, okay? So your palms should be facing up towards the sky, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna concentrate on taking our finger pads, and one at a time, we want to pull them down to the palm of our hands, okay? One finger at a time, and we wanna pull those finger pads down to the palm of our hand. Now, This may be a little difficult because all your fingers want to bend at one time, okay? So you really have to focus on just taking one finger and pulling it all the way down to the palm of your hand. Very good. Now, once you get that down pat, I want you to speed it up as much as you can, okay? Just still trying to focus on the one finger at a time, but we want to speed it up as much as you can, okay? And it gets a little difficult, but that's okay. Very good. And now I want you to take your hands and I want you to squeeze your fists nice and tight and then release, okay? So we're gonna squeeze them nice and tight and release. And again, nice and tight and release. And one more time, nice and tight and release. Very good. And let's shake those hands out. Very good. And so that's something that we can do when we're sitting at home, when we're watching television, in between commercials, to work on the flexibility in those fingers, okay? Now, next thing we're gonna do is work on the flexibility in our wrists. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your arms and I want you to put them out in front of you. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hands and we're gonna move our wrists around in a circle, okay? So concentrate on not so much of moving your arms, but more so isolating your wrists and moving your wrists around in a circle. Very good. Good job, moving that wrist around. And then we're gonna stop and we're gonna move them in the opposite direction. Very good, all the way around. Good job, and relax. Good job, that was good. All righty, taking a nice deep breath. And again, let's breathe in through our nose and out through our mouths. Good job. Now, the next exercise we're gonna do is we're gonna take our right hand. So I want everyone to put their right hand in the air, okay? So I want you to put your right hand on your left leg, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bodies and we're gonna turn our bodies in the direction of where our hands are, and we're gonna try to look behind us as much as you can, okay? So I have my hand here on the chair for support, and I'm just turning my body as much as I can, and I'm just gonna hold it in that position. Take a deep breath. And again. Good job. And relax, okay? And so we're just gonna twist the body out nice and slow. So be very careful with this movement, just twisting the body out. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the opposite side, okay? So we're gonna take our left hand and we're gonna put our left hand on our right leg, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna twist our body in the direction of where our hands are. And we're just gonna try to look behind us as much as we can as we brace ourselves with our opposite hand on the chair, okay? Taking a nice deep breath. Good job. And relax. Very good, and same thing, we wanna twist our bodies out, okay? Very good, alrighty. And so now that we got our upper body all stretched out, making sure we roll those shoulders back, getting those kinks out, sitting up nice and tall. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath, breathe in through our nose, out through our mouths. And one more time, in through our nose, and out through our mouths.